place it back down on the floor, and then I'm going to have you adjust your springs on your springboard. We're going to go ahead and do some supine arm series here. So I want you to hook them onto the number 4. Yeah, go ahead and grab the yellow springs. Yeah. Use the yellow springs for arm work. And we're using the handles today instead of the bar because we might do some lateral work. So go ahead, I'm going to sit down. You're going to lay down your back, your head going to be towards that springboard. And make sure your mat is all the way up against the wall. Make sure you're pushing your head in. Perfect. So once you have your head up against there, I want you to reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And I want you to start at a point where there's just a tiny bit of tension. So if you're not feeling any tension for you, I'm going to... like myself. So I want to have you start with your arms reaching up towards the ceiling. I want you to roll those shoulder blades down and back. Squeezing your core. I want you to have a nice neutral spine. I want you to stabilize your spine with your abs. Press your feet down into that mat. We're just going to go into a lower and lift. So arms stay straight. On exhale, you're pressing your hands down, just hovering right above that mat. And then we reach back up. Perfect. Yeah. Just lowering down. And then we rise our arms back up to that columns position, keeping those shoulder blades rolled down and back the entire time. Again, pulling in those abs as you lower down and lift back up. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead. You can draw your legs up into tabletop here for a variation by progressing in here. Yeah, we're keeping your legs in that tabletop position. Shins should be parallel to the floor, thighs are perpendicular. Imagine you have like a tray of drinks on top of your shins. Now we're going to go ahead. I want you to bring your hands down by your hips. We're going to glue those elbows into your rib cage, hovering above that mat. We're going to a tricep press. So you're going to bend your elbows to 90, and then we lengthen back out. Perfect. There we go. To progress, you can go ahead and add in a chest lift and leg extension as you press your hands down. Otherwise, you can just maintain that nice tabletop position. Beautiful. If we're adding in that chest lift, we're thinking about not letting that chin come down to the chest. Perfect. Really think about pulling those lower abs as you add in that chest lift. Let's do one more. Perfect. Now we're going to bring those arms back up to columns. This time I'm going to have you do is you're going to press your hands down to your hips, lengthen your legs out for that leg extension and chest lift, and then we're going to draw our legs apart and back together. Apart and back together. Perfect. So keep those abs pulled in, the legs nice and straight. You're pointing those toes. You're just drawing them apart and back together. But think your legs more towards the center of the room rather than up. Yeah, challenge those lower abs. Pull in those lower abs. Perfect. Think like drawing apart, just like the width of your mat. Yeah, there we go. Pulling out and in. Last 5 seconds. Pull in those abs. Squeeze your core. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, bring your feet down. Let your arms float back up. You can let those springs rest back down behind you. And then we're going to go ahead and move into our life series here. So I'm going to adjust your springs. And so we have our springs set to a number 5 here. Perfect. So I'm going to have you draw your legs up into tabletop. You're going to place one foot into that loop at a time. And then you're going to place that other into your glute. Yeah, so we're using our purple springs. Yeah. So when we do our feet in straps here on the mat, it's going to require you to have a lot more pelvic stability here. So I really want you to focus on keeping your core wrapped around your spine to stabilize it. We're going to start here by rolling those shoulder blades down and back. I want you to press your palms down firmly into that mat. Go and lengthen your legs up towards the ceiling. Flex those toes down and back towards that springboard behind you. And then on exhale, we're going to lower and lift the legs. So while we're here, I want you to think about keeping your spine in that neutral position. So as you rise your legs up, if you're feeling your spine press down into that mat, don't bring your legs quite so high. And as you lower your legs, if you're feeling that arch in your back, don't lower quite as far down. Just stay within that range of motion that you're able to maintain that nice neutral spine. Perfect. Next big exhale as you're lowering down. Inhale as we're drawing the legs back up, keeping those toes flexed back towards that springboard behind you. Perfect. Focusing on keeping that pelvic stability, pressing those hips down evenly on the mat. You can grab behind you on that dowel bar that's mounted to the wall for more support if you feel like you might need it. Yeah. Go ahead now, we're going to draw our legs into a tabletop. And then once you're in that tabletop position, I want you to glue your heels together. Toes are going to separate. This is our start position. We're going to press out, lengthen your legs out towards the center of the studio. And then we pull back into that start position for frog. Perfect. As you're pressing out and in, I want you to think about not letting those knees come past the hips. We're just going to that like tabletop, and then we're lengthening back out. Perfect. Go ahead, let's do 2 more. And now we're going to go ahead and lengthen those legs back up towards the ceiling. We're keeping those legs nice and straight. You have those toes be pointed. Now we're going to take little like steps. We're going to shuffle the feet, walking them down towards the floor in that same range of motion from earlier. And then we're walking back up. Yeah, perfect. We're doing this series here with your feet in the straps because it helps decompress and stretch out your lower back. Yeah, perfect. Squeeze in that core, pull in those abs, stabilize your spine. Walking up, and then walking back down. Almost done. Go ahead, draw the legs back up into tabletop. Take one foot out of that loop, place that foot back down on the mat, and then go ahead, take your other foot out of that loop, place it back down on the mat. We're going to go ahead and come up. We're going to be doing our short box series here on the reformer. So I'm going to have you sit on your box. You're going to be facing towards the mirror. Your feet are going to be on your headrest. And I want you to go ahead, you're going to grab your short straps, and you're going to choke up to that hardware. Yeah, perfect. That plastic hardware. And you can always choke up more for more tension if you need it. And we're just going to start with some rows. So roll those shoulder blades down and back. You're sitting nice and tall with a stacked spine in that neutral position. Knees should be together. We're staying in like kind of like parallel feet. Perfect. I want you to squeeze your core. We're going to add in a row. So you're going to lengthen your arms out in front of you. And then we're going to pull the elbows towards the ribs. Perfect. Bending to 90. And then we reach back out. I want you to think about squeezing your hands in that fist as hard as you can as you're pulling your elbows towards your ribs. Yeah, perfect. Keep those shoulder blades rolled down and back. To progress here, you can go ahead and add in like an imprint of your spine so you can scoop that pelvis, squeeze those abs, and then we add in that row. Perfect. Go ahead now, extend your arms back out in front. We're going to go like a high row. So elbows are going out to the side, you're pulling out back. Get those elbows in line with one another. We're not letting them go past the shoulders. So think like straight line from elbow to shoulder to elbow. And then we reach back out in front. And again, you can add in that like scoop of the abs. Perfect. Good job, Angela. Keep those elbows lifted up. We want to think about having them be parallel with the floor, and then we extend our arms back out. Yeah, perfect. Really think about squeezing the shoulder blades together as you draw the elbows apart from one another. Perfect. Now go ahead, we're going to reach our arms back out in front, come back up to that nice stacked spine. We're going to go ahead and move into bow and arrow. So our arms are going to be lifted up, your hips are going to stay facing forward. What we're going to do is you're going to keep the one arm straight, the other hand is going to, the elbow's going to bend. You're going to twist just through your torso, pulling towards the side, the back of the studio. Gaze is going to follow your hand. You come back to center, and then we twist to the other side. You're staying nice and tall the entire time. So think more like sitting up tall. Perfect, yeah, we're keeping those hips facing forward. I want you to feel that burn in your side abs. You twist to the side. Think like you're wringing out a towel. That's what I want you to imagine your abs are looking right now. Twisting to the side, wringing out that towel. Keeping those shoulder blades rolled down and back. Again, gaze is following the hands. Whatever hand is not having the elbow be bent, keep that arm floated out in front of you. Good, reach your arms back out in front. Good, place those straps back on the pegs. Come off the side of your reformer. And we're going to make that box, we're going to turn into a long box style. And you're going to lay down with your diaphragm just over the front edge of that box. Your head is going to be towards your foot bar. Again, you're going to glue those legs together, point the toes. You're going to hold the top of your foot bar. Head's going to stay in line with neck and shoulders. And we're just going to press out and in. Think like almost like a pull-up. You're going to press out, and then you're going to pull back into home. Elbows go out to the side. Perfect. Keep those legs squeezing together. Point those toes. Activate that posterior chain. Good, press out one more time. And then come back into home. We're going to go ahead and come up to sitting on that box. So we're going to sit like Z-sit style facing towards the back of the studio. So you're going to have your leg that's closest to the foot bar. You're going to have it be parallel with the foot bar. Yeah. And then your other foot's going to be in front or to the side of that headrest. You're going to place your hand on that foot bar. And we're going to do like a mermaid. So you're going to press that reformer out and away, and you're going to reach your arm over to the center of the studio. Perfect. Keep those hips facing forward. Come back to home. And then we go into that counter strength. Reach the other side towards that mirror. Beautiful. Feel that lateral flexion, pulling that rib towards the hip. Go do one more. Try to keep those sits bones planted down on the reformer. Come back to home. Reach to the other side. Yeah, think like you're moving between two panes of glass. Come back to center. And then we're going to turn and face the front of the studio. Almost done here. Yeah, sitting that D-sit style, or you can have one foot in the front, one foot to the side. Go ahead, grab that foot bar. And again, pressing out, reaching your fingertips towards the center of the room like you're reaching between two panes of glass. Come back to home. Give yourself a nice counter stretch. And one more. Come back to center. And then reach. Perfect. Come up to a stacked spine. And then we are all done. Thank you.